G'day everyone, it's SDS SuperCoach providing SuperCoach content for you. I'm here to present the review of the Friday and Saturday night games for SuperCoach. And look, fair to say, if you join me for this Saturday night, very likely that you haven't had a big night out tonight. So we welcome you here. I went massive at the footy today, but definitely slowed up. But yeah, now we're here, and this might be a quick review because there's 5 games to review, and I'm pretty tired, but let's get into it. So there's actually a fair bit to talk about, so I'll try to be as quick and uh, be like an analysis. I don't know. It's tired. I'm late. It's late. I'm tired. Yeah, there we go. All right, Matt Rowell. So if anyone went down the Matt Rowell route, certainly got rewarded again after a really good score against Richmond last week. 20 clearances, backs it up with a 155, so he's going to make lots of money. For even with 4 free kicks against, but 4 free kicks for, but that's really promising from Rao. Um, that Suns midfield looks ridiculous because I think these 4 Suns midfielders, because of how little their actual rotations are in the midfield. It's literally just Rowell, Anderson, Took, and Flanders. I think they're just all going to go super well. So, I guess speaking about the Suns midfielders here, Rowell outstanding. Could he be top 8? I mean, we have to wait and see. I think the massive test for them will be when they go up against the Dogs next week. That's a pure, proper, star-studded midfield right there. So I'll be very interested to see how they go. Also, I think these sort of conditions really helped the Suns midfielders as well. And then last week it also helped them with just Richmond being a bad midfield realistically. So I think we'll get a good gauge on what they're sort of like against a good midfield next week. So Rao, outstanding. Took Miller, I mean, he's massively owned. 29 touches, 9 tackles, 137. Couldn't really ask much more. In a regular season of regular fixturing, you're going to hear that. You're going to hear me say that a fair bit, but I would have picked Miller, but just due to that buy, you're going to hear me say that a bit as well down the line here. So Anderson really good. Flanders, I've got Flanders. So as you guys know, I don't have Isaac Heaney. I know in my official team review, I did have Isaac Heaney in my team, but yes, I have got Flanders and Dogger instead. And last night, that Friday night, I'll get to Heaney, but it's good that I was really dreading that Heaney score, but it's good that Flanders, I guess, sort of. I mean, it's 8 points the difference. It ain't that big of a deal, so. I feel like he sort of broke even there with Heaney. Just gonna have to hope that Luke Jackson puts in a good shift tomorrow. Seems like Will Powers, that defender that Dimmer Hardwick was really suggesting could be like that Jaden Shaw type of role. He just looks the best in it. Tom Berry, I think he's a pretty cheap rookie. I mean, he's small forward. I think these were sort of his conditions. Like there are lots of tackles in this game. So I don't know. What did he score the week before? Break even of 31, so clearly it was nothing. So probably someone I don't consider, but 104. Yeah, Ballard, Wits, yeah, probably not a top 6 ruck anymore, I would suggest. Alex Sexton, got him on field, scored a 63. I thought he was all right. I think the role's good. Yeah, I don't think it's best by foot though. Tough conditions to do it in, so. Whether I keep him on field's a different question. He will make money, but we have so many good value options this year where a bloke like Sexton, I mean, there could be a bloke on my bench that could just be a better scorer than Sexton. So that'll be interesting. Humphrey did nothing. Well, not much to note. If anyone went Connor Budrick, that is rough. Moving on to the Crows, Rory Laird still doing Rory Laird stuff, so could be an upgrade target at some point. I was considering Matt Crouch a fair bit in Supercoach, 114 points, 33 touches. Yeah, this is really what I was expecting from Crouch. I decided to go Wines. I thought Wines was a better option. We'll find out. I mean, we'll find out during the year, but good start from Crouch with the Wines versus Crouch debate. Hinge pretty good. So is the app. Rankin scored really well, kicked a couple of late goals there as well, so that was nice for his scaling. If anyone went Jordan Dawson, that sucks. 82, that's brutal. That hurts. I was worried that Crouch could eat into his score a bit, but score of an 82 is not really. We've seen it every now and then with Dawson, but I just didn't expect it with this type of game. Maybe it's more the inside sort of players that definitely got rewarded more than maybe your Dawson type, so maybe not too stressed too much. You picked him as a premium. Sam Berry, 80. I know a fair few people, even I considered Sam Berry, but I've opted for Fife. But I think this was his style of game. What do you get? Only 4 tackles. He's usually a tackling beast. 13 touches, though, that's really the problem. Got a goal, but yeah, I don't know. Those sort of stats, I need to see the CBA stats when they come out, but he scored an 80, which is good, and you need that for the cash gen, but just a couple of things here and there. Low time on ground as well certainly concerns me a little bit too. As we go down, Rochelle, nah. Riley O'Brien was pretty average. Don't think anyone went Ben Keys. Chris Burgess, I just don't think this was the weather type. This wasn't the weather for a game out of him there, so bit stiff with that, but might be at risk now with Tex coming back. Let's head on to the Geelong St Kilda game. By the way, really close game with the Suns, and same with here. 2 good games of footy tonight. Not the prettiest of games, but I don't know. I like those style of games. Alrighty, let's get into this. Patrick Dangerfield, 134. Not really classic relevant at all, really. Same with Cameron. Max Holmes looked interesting, mate. I'll get to Nick Martin in a sec. Made him look silly. Yeah, looks like he's going to another level. I mean, this is the last year of his contract. There's a lot of talks, so he might put in a big shift this year, and I don't know. He could end up being a better pick than Martin. We'll just have to see. Tom Stewart, 105. Considering how many points St Kilda usually concedes to defenders, feel like 105 is actually a bit disappointing for Tom Stewart, but not really the end of the world. You can't really complain with a ton at the end of the day. Now this is my guy. This made me happy. Ollie Dempsey, he was my pod rookie. I put him on my bench. Yes, on my bench, unfortunately. But at least I have him. Like that, I left a couple of good scores on my bench, but you just sometimes think and go, yeah, at least I've got him. I thought he was outstanding. Moved up the ground pretty well. Looks like he's playing high half forward. I think he's going to be a good cash cow for people. Be interested to see if people jump on it. 96. I like it. I like it a lot. 3 goals, one. He was a joy to watch. Very happy with that. One of the only good things that have happened to me so far. I mean, bit of an overreaction, but anyway, besides that, not too much to report with the Cats. I feel like I'm missing someone. Oh yeah, there's a couple down the bottom here. So Sean Manor was named sub. Someone I'm not considering if he's named sub. So I don't know. He would be a good cash cow if he can get a good run at it, but clearly he's not at the minute. So there's Manor and then Jai Clark as well. Gee whiz. 13 Supercoach points, but 13 touches. What's his time on ground? 59. He didn't get sub, so that's actually a bit of a concern for me, and I do think he's at risk of potentially being out of the side or being sub now. So with a score like that, that does put him at a lot more risk, especially at Geelong, where they really nurture their younger players until they're fully ready. So maybe Jai Clark isn't just fully ready yet. Gave away a couple of frees as well. So not very good signs with Jai Clark there. So we move on to the Saints. Ryan Marshall, really good. Expect this for most of the year, by the way, with Marshall. I think Marshall's a very good pick. I've opted for Gordon Grundy more due to money, and I was just pretty hot on Gordon Grundy for the majority of preseason. But as I said, like if one of them had any issues or I got worried, I would have flipped to Marshall. So Marshall's a good pick, very good. Jack Steele, I know a few people added him pretty late. Certainly looked a lot better. 25 touches, 7 marks, 6 tackles. Just a little bit of a concern though, because Geelong played good tonight, but I don't really rate their midfield too highly in my book. And I don't know, but I mean, down at the Cattery, it's a hard place to score. Scored 119. I don't know. Saints have got Collingwood next week, so that could be a really good score for Jack Steele for next week. I think we'll get a better feel on what he's like as a scorer. I mean, I was saying to Brad, I think a couple of days ago on the live stream, I just don't think he's back to his best. No, we got a question. It was can Jack Steele get back to his best? And I said, I mean, I think he can do 110 potentially this year. But when we're talking about best, we're talking about prime Jack Steele best, which is like 120 plus. And I personally didn't say that. I mean, this is promising signs with Steele to start with, but I don't know. I'm not too butthurt with this because he was someone I really wasn't considering most of the preseason. So the ones that hurt you for me are the ones where you considered them a lot but took them out last minute. So yep, that's all right. Riley Bonner, some people went there, 102, 28 touches, really good user of the ball. So I think the price is a bit too awkward for me, but should be a good cash cow. Nazai, really solid, really solid. Could push up to be a top 10 defender this year. Darcy Wilson, I think that's pretty promising, but he did kick 2 goals to get a score of 66. But as I said, it's pretty tough to score down at the Cattery. So I think he'd take that 66 points. I've got him on my bench. Then besides that, with the Saints, I hope I haven't missed anyone. Some people went Windhager. I don't think so though. No, we can probably move on there. So good win for Geelong there. Sorry, it's actually only. Oh no, it is 5 games because I haven't done Collingwood Sydney. All right, let's get into this. There's actually a fair bit to talk about here because I feel like North Melbourne are very relevant in Supercoach. So we got Jesse Hogan. I know some people went there. If you went there to get in some good scores, and fantastic job. Wasn't not really my kind of play to do, but I fully respect. I mean, he'll get a price rise heading into next week. And sorry, he'll get a price rise after his bye, or just before his bye as they play next week. Don't know who the Giants play. I totally forgot next week, but well. Now this is what more concerns me instead of Heaney. Tom Green. As I said, if this was a regular season, I'd definitely pick him. I think he's a real danger to be a top 2 or 3 midfielder in Supercoach for this year. I rate him that highly. I think he's actually a high chance for the Brownlow as well. So um, I tip Dacos for the Brownlow. I might go Green. 37 touches, 9 tackles. Yeah, he was outstanding. And this concerns me more because, yeah, I mean, it was against North Melbourne, but I just really like Tom Green as a player, and it's a shame I didn't go with him. But I was considering him at stages, but it's just, I don't know. With Flanders as well, it's just a bit awkward for me. Whitfield, pretty good. He had a little issue later in the game, but he turned out to be fine. Some of these Giants mids did really well. Jack Buckley. Anyone else here? Aaron Cadman, really good. 2 goals, 1. He'll make some decent cash for us. Key forward looks a lot better this year. Himmelberg, I mean, I think the roles there just really struggled. Green, 0 goals, 4. He's going to be better than that. But I just don't think he's in my opinion, a Supercoach classic pick. Kieran Briggs was terrible. How about that? Scored a 57. I was really surprised about that. I know he was pretty sore later in the end of last week's game, but I don't know. Is it carrying over? I'm not too sure because that is very surprising with Kieran Briggs there. Ware and Thomas aren't really rookies that we should be going after. As we move into North Melbourne, we've got Harry Sheasel, 130. We love to see it. Very happy with that. Really good game, so not fussed with that. Luke Davies-Uniacke, so he is sort of my point of difference midfielder. Not because I wanted him to be a point of difference midfielder, it was because I didn't get too discouraged with the preseason games. I don't know. I feel like I had to mix my tactic up a bit. I just wanted to be really stubborn with some of my picks, and I've just stuck with LDU. And if it doesn't work out, then it's whatever. Scored a 121 against a really good midfield, so I'm actually very happy with that. 121. So I know I didn't go Tom Green, and I feel like that's more of a problem than Heaney. Could be. Um, but yeah, very happy with LDU, so he's all good. Tristan Jerry, if you went down there, you'd be very pleased with that, especially against Kieran Briggs, really promising. Tom Powell, very interesting as well. He's a forward as well, so he's looking like he's playing more your defensive midfielder, but he's getting CBA, so that's super promising and something to monitor because I think he's a good player. I think I like him in when they put him in the midfield. I think he's a better player than we'll get to Charlie Lazaro. But yeah, I think he's a better player than uh Lazaro, that's for sure. Colby McKercher, a couple of people faded. I put him on the bench. Not because I wanted to. I wanted to field him this whole time. It was just more due to the structure that I'm running with the side and just trying to fit all these blokes in. Huswaite being out sort of sent me into a frenzy a bit as well. So, look, do I regret? I mean, I've got him, so it doesn't matter that much as long as you got the main guys in there to make cash. You want the points on field though, but he scored an 88. He was looking at 100 plus at halftime, so. Yeah, McCurch is going to be one of our best rookies this year, so I'm very happy with him. Zane Dersma was interesting. Scored a 71. Kicked 2 goals, one again for that score. I was a massive hater on the pick at the time. I mean, I'm still not a massive fan. I mean, he scored a 71. Um, I personally think if he gets a 300K, that's a fantastic result. And I think there's every chance that happens now. I like what I see, and dare I say, he's already better than his brother, by the way. George Wardlaw, yeah, just not my kind of pick, really. I'll let him explode when he's ready to explode with in as a player. So 17 touches. What's the time on ground looking like here? Yeah, 72. Not a fan of that. The low time on ground. So that was uh it happened last year. The poor kid's gone through quite a few soft tissue injuries, especially with his hamstrings. And yeah, just not really my kind of pick. I'm going there. So shout out to Dylan Stevens. He liked my TikTok. I'm pretty sure I told you guys before. Oh, here's one to talk about. Wow, Zach Fisher, 21 touches, so that's a good sign. But scored a 50. So yeah. I didn't see too much of this game, by the way. But yeah, he was he was shit. I mean, there's no other way to put it. I don't think he's just in my opinion, I just don't think he's a good footballer. And when you're not a good footballer, these sort of things can happen where you just show your true colors every now and then. We saw it in the first practice game, and then second practice game, we went nuts. So um, there's a couple of trades I need to do. I'll show you guys at the end of the review my side and things I need to. If I don't trade Fisher this week, he's massively in the firing line for me heading into, and I'm sure for a lot of coaches heading into next week. We're going to need a big shift out of Zach Fisher. That's for sure. Like, 50 is just not good enough at his price. And yeah, if I don't trade him this week, he's massively on the firing line for me. And yeah, I just don't really like the way he plays personally. Toby Pink, 44. I mean, it's better than a couple of the injured blokes now, but you can't really predict that. So Toby Pink, there you go. Very sad about Josh Goda, by the way. I saw that instance 6 minutes ago in the fourth, and he was looking to start his stride for his run to block a lane for GWS lead, and ruptured his Achilles. North Melbourne announced, so poor bugger. Wish him all the best. Elite last name. Charlie Lazaro. So I'll get to him. Um, um, I'm probably sounding harsh on some of these North Melbourne blokes, but I've never really bought into him as a good player. I really like Tom Powell more than Lazaro, and I think they'll stick with that. And Lazaro's playing this half forward role, and I don't know, you're paying 180K for a bloke doing that. Yeah, I was never really a fan of the Lazaro pick. I mean, I definitely could have seen it potentially working just because of all the noise in the midfield minutes, but just don't think he's good enough. So, oh well, I avoided that. All right, let's move into the next game. All right, Essendon Hawthorn. So I went to this game today. By the way, I'm going to Melbourne Dogs tomorrow, with a couple of co-workers and my dad. So we all get on pretty well. But yeah, went to the footy today with my old man. 73,000 as a G. It's beautiful when the MCG is nice and packed. I thought the Hawks held in pretty well for 4 quarters. I'm not frustrated at all. I mean, I don't like losing to Essendon, but certainly some good positives to take out of that. I do worry about our back line, but I think there's enough signs there to go, yep, we're doing all right. So yeah, Essendon got the chockies there, unfortunately. Super coach. Let's get into the scoring here. For Essendon's side, so they made McGuinness the sub, which as a Hawthorn supporter I found really odd. Just because I mean you either don't play McGuinness or you play him to tag someone. There's no real in between. I didn't really get that. So McGrath's not relevant. Zach Merritt went nuts with that. So I don't know. I feel like we could have killed him out of the game and we could have done more in the stoppages. But oh well. 127. I thought he was really good. Yeah, so I didn't have the tag to worry about. So he was fantastic. And yeah, at some point he'll be an upgrade target, that's for sure. Perkins, no. Setterfield, no. No, no. Redmond, cheap shot on Newcomb. Nice one, mate. Um, Not too much else. I'll get to the man I know you want me to talk about in a second. Sardis was sub. Some people went there. And Zach Reed, this was really sad. So obviously the poor bugger has gone through a lot of injuries and yeah, hamstring awareness. So it doesn't sound too serious, but I'm sure given his injury history, Essendon will go the conservative route with that. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what we do there with Zach Reed. Very unfortunate, but I don't know. One of him and Gibcus has to be traded really. So I'll probably do one of them to Caulfield. I mean, I need to find a way to get Massimo D'Ambrosio. I'll talk to him in a sec. So I'll have to think about that. Now let's get into Nick Martin. The roles there, fantastic. 25 touches, beautiful. 6 marks, couple of tackles, no frees given. 0 goals, one. But yeah, as you can see, like fantasy points 93, he scored just fine. But Supercoach, he was an absolute butcher. He was crap, Martin. He was absolute crap. He was shit. Nick Martin was shit. And I did have these little concerns here and there with who am I talking about? Martin. I did with the I heard some concerns about his kicking in preseason, that sort of thing, and certainly showed today. So I don't know. Just really played poorly. Once again, if I don't trade him out this week, he's massively in the firing line for me. Because that's just not good enough. We're paying 100K more than with him than we did for Fisher, and he scored 13 points more. So not good enough with Nick Martin. Gonna need to see a fair bit next week. Let's head into my boys, the Mighty Hawks. Massimo, I thought he was outstanding. He was outstanding. I thought he's probably our best. Probably our best. Beautiful ball use. Um, I just didn't go with him because I feel like I don't get too good of a read when it comes. I get a decent idea, but with Hawthorn players, I get a different lens on how I see a player compared to the other 17 clubs. You see it more in a bias way, and like I'd hate it for my bias to get in the way of like, okay, this bloke plays for Hawthorn, blah blah blah, and goes crap. That would annoy me. So Massimo, so if you went with him, you'd be ecstatic with that. So yeah, he certainly needs to be in my plans. Maybe to even bring in next week because at 224K, yeah, he's going to make a lot of money and he looks brilliant. And I think Hawthorn are going to use him a lot around the ground as well. I thought he looked terrific. Who else we got? Dylan Moore came back from glandular fever during the week and still score 100, so really good. 3 goals. I thought Whittle played well. Ginnivan was really good today until he got a knee knock. Carl Amon, 89. I think he's a fine pick. I think he can average high 90s, maybe low hundreds uh, at best. But he'll get defender status and he'll be in the running to be a top liner down back. Not a super top liner, but be around the mark. So yeah, Amon was good. Also he's getting kicking goals as well off handball received, so that's promising. Anyone else? If you went Newcomb, rip. Josh Ward, I'd be playing Hustwaite over McDonald personally. Oh yeah, a couple of negative ones to finish off with this game. Nick Watson just couldn't really get him involved. As I said, it's a pretty average role for Supercoach, so I'd have been surprised if he made like decent money. I think Dersma's role's better, so I prefer Dersma. But Watson's role, yeah, just no good. Small forward in a probably a bottom four side. So, um, yeah, hopefully you guys didn't go down there. If you did, I mean, there's options aplenty. I'd just move off him. Uh, could even get dropped. You never know. The Sis Dog, yeah, it just really wasn't his day. Scored a 43, so that is a massive rip for anyone that went James Sicily. Gee whiz. He gave away a dumb free kick to start off with, so not a great sign from your captain. That's just what he is, though. 11 touches, 2 frees for, 2 frees away. No, he just never really got involved. Took a couple of intercept marks, but yeah, just never really got involved. It felt, to be fair, it felt like one of those games where Sicily, it was one of those games where I felt like we played really well to almost saying that I almost thought we could have won that. I actually do think we could have won that because what was happening during the game was we would be able to lock it in pretty well. And it was so hard. It was a lot of work for Hawthorn to kick a goal and for Essendon to kick a goal. It was bloody easy. So a lot of Essendon's goals were really like quick replies where when we were having the ball to kick a goal, yeah, it was quite the process in the midfield and the forward line. So he just wasn't really getting in the right spots to be involved. Sicily, I still think he's a top six defender, but he's going to be pretty cheap. And he was on like 3 or 3.5 times, something mad like that. And last game to wrap things up, and then I'll show you guys my team. Quickly do this. Collingwood Sydney. A couple of people have done this already. Nick Dacos, very happy with that. Chuck the VC on him. Lovely. Yeah, no, it just looks really good. I mean, he didn't look outstanding, but imagine when he looks really good. Who else we got here? There's not too much relevancy when it comes to the Pies. Charlie Dean, I think he's going to get dropped. Looks a bit out of his depth at this stage, but poor bugger's been slot straight into the reigning premiers there. Um, then really one other relevant player is Finlay McRae, 28 Supercoach, came on as a sub. I think he'll be a weekly starter for Collingwood. I do think they need a bloke like him in there, and I think yeah, I think he's better off than like a Mitchell or something. Maybe that's very too reactionary because Tom Mitchell played an outstanding final series, but yeah, I think they need to get McRae in there. All right, let's talk about Sydney. So there's a lot to go through here. Isaac Heaney, 136. Oh, I was hating this. I was hating this last night. That sort of really killed my mood. I shouldn't let a game dictate my mood like this. Like it's a little, I like Isaac Heaney. And I liked him as a pick. I would have gone with him if it wasn't for the buy, but I don't know. Just I just preferred Flanders potentially being being a better chance as a keeper than Jackson is like the ruck forward cover for when Gordon Grundy went during their buys. So yeah, got it. I'm still debating whether I need to force my way to get Heaney in. I don't want to destroy my team doing that, but we've still got 3 games tomorrow, so I feel like there'll be more decisions that have to be made after those games. So yeah, I thought Heaney looks a lot better in the midfield than he does in the forward line, by the way. Oh, okay. Come on, lock in. All right, Errol Goulden, 30 touches, 109. Sorry, I didn't put this in the right order. There we go. Yeah, 109. I thought Goulden was fine, but as I've kind of said for a bit, if he's going to be playing this wing role, I think he'll be spending a lot of time. I do think he can get down at a lot cheaper of a price. I think he's just that type of player. It's just more that kind of role where he'll be having a couple of down games and we can grab him at 540k, that sort of thing. He's just that type of player, really. Chad Warner, really good, 3 goals. Yeah, he looks awesome. Robon was really good. Shout out to him as well. James Jordan, I don't even feel like he's getting CBAs, he's playing half forward, pushing up into stoppages. I really like what I see from James Jordan. As I've said again, as I'll say once again, like James Jordan has the right attributes to be a good super coach pick, and I think he's certainly reaping the rewards. So very happy with him. Brody Grundy, certainly not the standards that we saw from last week. I think Cameron's actually a pretty restrictive ruck usually. So I don't know, a bit disappointing, but I think he can bounce back. I still have faith in Grundy. I mean, he scored 139 last week against Gorn. So I think he'll be better for the run. No issues with Grundy. Need to get stung by a blue bottle jellyfish next time around. Once again, by the way, that's what happened before the Melbourne game. He got stung in the morning by blue bottle jellyfish. Got Matty Roberts here, very solid. We like that. -71. So I believe this must be updated. Yeah, so Gordon 179. He's gonna drop loads. Yeah, so I believe they've updated the break evens now, so that's nice. So yeah, Matty Roberts is going to make us a lot of cash. Really nice role. Good accumulator of the ball. I really like it. Looks like he's now replaced Jake Lloyd down back, while also spending a bit of time on the wing. But I really like Roberts. I think he's holding in just fine. Sydney. No, that's about it. Sorry if it wasn't really analytical, this review. Just sort of my overall thoughts. We're going to go into my side. I haven't really changed too much since I showed everyone my final team. The only thing I showed people is I believe I swapped Caulfield to Marty Hoare actually. So I think Hoare and Caulfield have like very similar job security. Like there's chance they could be sub or that sort of thing. So yeah, I've gone Marty Hoare, and I do think he's a better scorer, and I do think he'll score pretty well as a rookie if he can stay in the side, especially with no Jake Bowie, sorry, got Howes there. So we've halfway through the round, so 11 players have played. Can we update this? I want to show everyone what's going on here. And I need to do this. Boom. All right, yeah. So I'm about I've 11 of my 22 players have played. So as you can see, I've taken Dacos as VC. Gordon will pop on. Lovely. So yeah, we still got 6 premiums to work with tomorrow. So Jackson, Gorn, Butters, Bont. I'm still calling Wines a premium, and Hayden Young. So pretty interested with that. I think last year I was in absolute disarray with my Supercoach team. I certainly feel like, yeah, there's a couple of little problems here, a couple of problems here with this side, but I definitely feel like, I don't know, it's hard to gauge how everyone's doing at the minute. I feel like I'm going okay without being amazing. Like I don't have Tuka Miller, Tom Green, Heaney, but then LDU responded. Nick Martin went crap, so that hurt. McKercher on the bench hurt. Everyone went Grundy. Flanders did well for me, so that's good. Most people would have had these 3. So, and then you got Dacos and Sheasel. If you faded Dacos, yeah, just get him in now, or maybe just double down on your plan and just worry about him after his bye now. So yeah, I feel like my team isn't as bad of a state as it was in last year, but there's still 3 games to go. A lot of this could change, but yeah, like last year, I started at 81k. I've got the vibe. I mean, it's not going to be anything outstanding. My vibe at the minute, I'm thinking if it plays out how Supercoach is saying it would, I don't know. My guess would be like I could be like 40K, which isn't the end of the world. It's just I think more guys like Tom Green. No, Tom Green hurts. Um, no Tuke Miller, no Isaac Heaney, stuff like that's gonna hurt. So you're just gonna have to hope that these blokes can match. Butters is going up against West Coast, so that's interesting. Same with Wine, so hopefully they can put in a shift. Dogger solo ruck. Hopefully he can sort of match Henny's production. Really, everyone's got Hayden Young. So and yeah, I need a response from Gorn as well. So I feel like English could be a good matchup for him. So let's just hope. And yeah, that's my team, guys. Let me know what you guys think. I need to find so also I guess very early trade plans. I want to save this for the round review, but what are we thinking? I think I need to get Massimo in. So I just need to find a way to make that happen. My guess would be I'll be making 2 trades next week. So I don't know. I wouldn't like I don't you can boost and you want to get your team right at the end of the day, but I don't really want to use 2 boosts in 2 weeks. But if you have to, you have to. So I'll be making a minimum of 2 trades would be my guess. I've only got 15K in the bank. That sucks. I usually like having 80 plus K in the bank to just give me flexibility for correctional trades. Like if I had a bit more money in the bank, I could probably save myself a trade, but um, I don't know. I'm very happy with this side. I haven't really tinkered around with this side too much. I've tried to be a lot more stubborn in the preseason, this off season with my side, where if I've been pretty hot on this bloke for however long, if there's no issues with their role or injuries or whatever, I'm just going to stick with it. So you can see with Davy Zieniak there, I don't know, very early days, but I've reaped the rewards with that one. Other than that, yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about my side. Sorry, I can barely keep my eyes open, so I think I'm going to end this. Let me know what you guys think. So sorry, by the way, I'm on 1,100 with 11 players down. So I like to think I can go 2,000 plus this week. So, especially with 6 more premiums to go. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you're going well, guys. Bye.